Liverpool Golf Oscar Sierra Alpha, final 27 touching go Liverpool.
Well, hello there and good evening everybody, or good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are joining us from. Welcome to my very first live stream here on the Real Sim Pilot YouTube channel. Thank you all for joining us. I'm excited and also nervous to bring you this flight. As I said, it's my first live stream, so expecting a few hiccups along the way. Please bear with me as we attempt this, and leave some feedback in the chat. Hopefully you can all hear me today. We're going to be flying this fantastic add-on, the A32nx, that I've based most of my channel on by fly-by-wire simulations. Inside of Microsoft Flight Simulator, we are heading to Oslo from Manchester. And yeah, so the walk around has been done. Let's jump into the cockpit and get started. I have already powered up the aircraft. We are running on the ground power.
Liverpool Golf Oscar Sierra Alpha, 127 Liverpool.
Sorry, let me just change frequencies here. We are in Vatsim. We do have a controller online, but I'm currently tuning to Unicom, so there we go, that's better. So as I said, we are connected to ground power. I've switched on the displays and some lights, but that's about all I've done so far. So let's go ahead and jump up to the overhead and continue setting everything up. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to arm the emergency exit lights, turn on the nav and logo lights, turn on the no smoking signs. Crew oxygen supply can go on, and let's go ahead and turn on the ADIRS so that can get set up. Okay, back down to the overhead here. Let me just turn up these displays a little bit brighter so you guys can see them. And that is on. I have got a flight from SimBrief set up. So let's go ahead and set up the MCDU. First thing we want to First thing we want to do is go over to ATSU, AOC menu.
EG4688, potential approved to face south.
I just want to turn down the Vatsim a little bit, it's a bit loud.
Push start through face south, EG4688.
Okay, in a data request. There we go, our flight, our call sign is Scandinavian 4608. Departing Manchester, arriving Oslo. We need to load the fuel. Now they've changed it again, we're going to load the fuel from the EFB and no longer from the MCDU, so we'll do that in a second. Let's go back to the AOC. We can load the cargo and the passengers so long. So we go operational flight plan request, and then we can start the boarding. You can see the passengers will start loading, the cargo will start loading. While that's happening, let's go over to the flight pad and go over to our fuel. And we're going to set the fuel for the flight, and if we go over to the operational flight plan, we can see that it is... Oh, where is my flight plan? From SimBrief. Okay, there it is. Operational flight plan. There we go. So our fuel for this trip is going to be 7222. I'm going to add at least 1 ton onto that, just because the Microsoft Flight Simulator weather has been a little bit funny lately. So we go 7222. I'm going to make it 8222. And then we can start loading. Elite, hey, I've got a question. Whenever I'm on approach and I try to set flaps config, I'm always overspeeding. I'm not sure why. Wondering if it happens to others. Elite, have you tried to use the approach? So in the MCDU, when you go to performance and you fill in the details here for your destination. So by your destination for your approach, you fill in the QNH, the temperature, the magnetic winds, and the velocity and everything like that. When you are on approach mode here on the MCDU, when you activate the approach mode, it should slow you down as you extend flaps. But you want to slow yourself down manually to about 220 knots before you set flaps 1, and then it'll slow you down, and as you extend the flaps, slow you down again all the way down until your approach speed. So I'm not sure if you've tried that. Tyler, your videos have really helped me in the A32nx, so thank you and good luck on your first stream. Tyler, thank you very much for joining us, and thank you. I'm glad I can help you. I've got more coming along the way. Okay, where were we? So we got the fuel is loaded. Is it loaded? 8222. It's busy loading. Is it refueling? There we go. 8222. Okay, let's continue here with the MCDU. So we've done the weights, and we've done the fuel, so we go in at A and we go in at request. There's our flight. So Scandinavian 4608 from Manchester to Oslo. Cost index is 15 and our cruising flight level is 370 minus 52 degrees. It's cold up there. Okay, so in at A is done. So flight plan. Here's our flight plan. So we got another 6 minutes until the IRSs are aligned, and we'll see it here on the navigation display. Until then, let's go just step through it, make sure everything looks like it should. We need to get our clearance from ATC before we fill in the rest, so we'll come back to that. In at B, we can't carry on with this until we've got the passengers loaded up and the fuel. Our fuel is loaded, so we got 8.2 tons of fuel on board. So that's our block fuel there. So we got 8.2 tons. That's over there. And then if we look at our zero fuel weight, it's still busy loading. So we'll give that a few more minutes. Our trip winds for this flight is going to be where is it? Average wind components is minus 23. So that's going to be minus 23. We'll put that over there by the trip wind, and that is a headwind of 23 knots. So it'll add a couple of minutes onto our flight. Okay, while we wait for that, let's go ahead and listen to the ATIS, because we do have controller online on Vatsim. So Manchester ATIS is 121.975. So go here to the radio. 121.975. I don't know if it's going to work because
visibility 10 kilometers or more. Scattered 2,200 feet. Broken 2,600 feet.
broken to
Overcast 3,500 feet.
So
Temperature +6. Dew point +2. QNH 1014.
1014.
Threshold QFE 1005. Acknowledge receipt of information whiskey. And
information whiskey.
advise aircraft type on first contact.
So we have information whiskey QNH 1014.
Manchester information whiskey.
I just want to hear the runway.
Time 1550 Zulu. Automatic. Runway in use 23 right. Transition level flight level 60. Surface
right,
wind 310 degrees 7 knots.
Okay, so we have information whiskey QNH 1014 The runway we're taking off of is 23 right, and our transition altitude is 6,000 feet. So if I bring up Navigraph, let's have a look at what departure we can expect.
Manchester ground, easy 468.
So from pole,
taxi, please.
we go to
Easy 4688,
departures.
taxi holding point Mike 1 via Juliet Echo Kilo
standard
Juliet.
instrument departure. It's going to be a pole departure. So
Taxi
either
holding point Mike 1.
5 Romeo
Juliet
or 1
Echo,
Yankee. Let's have a look at what we got
Kilo
here.
Juliet, easy 4688.
So that's for 2 3s, yeah. So it's probably going to be 2 3 right. So it's pole 5 Yankees. No, pole hill 5 Romeo is going to be our departure, which we can expect. We'll stick that in there so long, and then we'll just confirm it with the ATC once we have it loaded up. So if I go back to flight plan, Echo Golf Charlie Charlie, departure 2 3 right, and pole hill 5 Romeo. Yes, let's stick that in there so long, and we will confirm that. We have another 2 minutes till our RSs are aligned, and they are still loading the passengers. It takes too long, taking far too long to load the passengers. And the sun is going down. Okay, let's call for our clearance while we're waiting anyway. So we got 121.850, and we are, so let me just grab my pen so I can Manchester ground, good evening, Scandinavian 4068, Airbus A320, stand 49, information whiskey. Request IFR clearance to Oslo.
Scandinavian 4068, Manchester ground, hello. You're cleared to Oslo via Pole Hill 5 Romeo departure, squawk 5014, QNH 1014.
Cleared to Oslo, Pole Hill 5 Romeo departure, squawk 5014, and we have QNH 1014, Scandinavian 4068.
Scandinavian 4068, read the correct.
Okay, so Pole Hill 5 Romeo is correct. Let me just stick in my squawk code because it's something I always forget.
Information whiskey Boeing 737-800, stand 25.
So it's 501.
Comjet 1 X-ray Charlie, Manchester ground,
okay.
hello. Cleared to Ivalo via Pole Hill 5 Romeo departure, squawk 5211, QNH 1014.
So let's see if they're done here yet.
Clear to Ivalo,
No.
Pole Hill 5 Romeo departure,
Still not
squawk
done.
5211,
see what zero
QNH
fuel weight we're looking for,
1014,
yeah?
Tomjet 1
So I
X-ray
know when
Charlie.
they're done. It is.
Comjet 1 X-ray Charlie, read the correct.
It is
Manchester ground, easy 62 Kilo whiskey.
58.5. So they're nearly done.
Right.
Nearly done. Okay, there we go. We have our IDOs aligned, so now we can see the routes on the
taxi Bravo
navigation
Delta,
display.
hold
So I'm
Delta
just going
2,
to double check that,
expect
step
stand
through it,
22.
flight plan, just go through it, make sure there's
Bravo
no
Delta, hold Delta 2,
discontinuities.
expect
Like there we have one there.
Easy 62
So I'm
Kilo
going to clear that. Clear that. Come on. Oh no, it deletes the wrong one. Okay, clear that over there. There we go. Okay, so we can step through that. Everything looks good there. Okay, now they should be finished.
Manchester ground, good evening, easy 3
It's taking
Papa
too
Delta
long.
with you, stand 18, type
Okay, anyway, what we can do so long,
A320
let's
with
go ahead
information,
and finish
whiskey
stepping up the
QNH
APU. So we're going to start
1014.
the APU. APU master on, wait 3 seconds, and start the
Easy
APU.
3 Papa Delta standby. Easy bread break. Easy 4688. QNH change. QNH 1018 and monitor Unicom 1008.
1018.
QNH change, QNH 1018, monitor Unicom 122.8.
And set that to 6,000 as that's our transition altitude, so we'll set
Easy
that to
3 Papa
6,000 to remember
Delta.
that.
State your intentions.
Request delivery clearance, please.
Oh, I never knew this would take, I never used to take so long to load the passengers.
Easy 3 Papa Delta and confirm clearance to Edinburgh.
Yeah, Roger, it's IFR to Edinburgh. We're at stand 18, type A320, and we have QNH 1014, information whiskey.
Okay, we're almost there. Let's see what else I can get set up so long.
EG3 Papa Delta, cleared to Edinburgh via Pole Hill 5 from a departure,
so APU is starting up.
4666.
There we can see the APU is getting ready. So there we go, it's available. So we're going to turn on the APU
Cleared
bleed.
by the Pole Hill 5 departure,
Which is over there.
4666.
Now we're running on the APU. We can disconnect the ground power.
EG3 Papa Delta, read back correct.
Let's lock the door so long. We can actually get ready to go because once we finish setting this up, it's not going to take very long.
27 Hotel, request taxi.
Tyler, I'm excited for the hold feature coming. Last night I was flying and I was asked to hold. It would have been nice to have the hold feature.
Taxi, holding point,
Yes,
Mike
that's going to be
1
exciting. I can't wait to
Romeo,
make a video on
November
that.
Charlie,
It is a bit of a
Echo,
pain when you have to hold manually,
Lima,
especially when you're very busy
Kilo,
Vatsim event
Juliet.
and you got to hold for a long time. I think my maximum was doing
Taxi
10
Bank
consecutive
Romeo, November Charlie,
circles
Echo,
in the hold
Lima,
until I was cleared
Kilo,
to continue,
Juliet,
and it was a real pain,
27
especially if you've
Hotel.
got very strong winds. It's hard to keep an accurate hold. My holding pattern looked like spaghetti strings all over the place.
EG6 2 Kilo Whiskey, continue taxi and hold at Delta 3.
Okay, there we go, we're done. So there's our fuel weight, 58.1. Block fuel 8.2, takeoff weight 66.1, landing weight 62.6. Okay, so that's all pretty much set up. So now we can go to the performance page.
Delta stand 18.
Our transition altitude is 6,000 feet.
EG3 Papa Delta, stand 18,
Our flaps for takeoff is going to be flaps 1, and based on our zero fuel weight, let me just grab my checklist. Zero fuel weights, CG is 20, so I'm going to have 2. So flaps 1, and our trim is going to be up 2.0. So nose up trim 2.0, flaps 1 for departure, and we're just going to do a toga, not any flex temperature. So then our takeoff speeds, V1 is going to be 133, V rotate 134, and V2 138. And that's that set up. We can turn on the constraints here. Flight directors are on. We can turn on the ones that side. I don't really look that side. 6,000 feet, that's all good. That's all set up. Let's go ahead and get ready to start. So push back. Make sure all the doors are closed. So we're going to close the forward door. Push back. Night at night, hello, thanks for joining us. Start pushback. So the tug can come forward. Let me just check all the doors are closed. Door page. The cabin door is still open. Doors closed. Is it closing? There we go, it's closed. Okay, back up to the overhead. Wrong one. Okay, we're going to turn on all the fuel pumps. We are going to turn on the beacon lights and the fasten seatbelts on. And we can call for taxi. Manchester ground Scandinavian 4068, stand 49, request push and start. Did he hear me? Manchester ground Scandinavian 4068, stand 49, request push and start. I think I used the wrong push to talk button there. Is he still online? Oh, I've changed the frequency. How did the frequency change? 121.850. I don't know how I did that.
Air France 10 Sierra, read the correct.
Manchester ground Scandinavian 4068, stand 49, request push and start.
Scandinavian
What
404, correction, Scandinavian 4068, stand 49er, push and start approved, face west.
Push and start approved, faced west, Scandinavian 4068. What is going on? Am I still connected? Do I still have power? Okay, let's start the pushback and start our engine. So, push and start approved facing west. So I'm going to push back. facing west. So tail left, nose right. Okay, so release the parking brake and reverse. Let's go ahead and ignition start and engine 2 start. Okay, N2 is rising, EGT is rising. Wait for 20% N2 and then N1 should start rising. There we go, N1 is rising. So our engines are starting up. I don't know what happened there.
Avance 130, Chris Bushson, please.
Air France 100 and 43, push start approved, face north.
Push the approved face north. Avance 130.
I don't know if I'll be able to taxi around here.
I
can use taxi this way.
5 November Hotel, 737-800, we're on stand 203.
Oh, I'm just going to stop here.
Information Whiskey, limited QNH 1014, requesting clearance to Vienna.
I'm just going to stop there because I'm going to taxi from here.
Sonic 5 November Hotel, Manchester Ground,
Okay,
good evening.
engine 2 is available, I'll start engine
Vienna
1.
via Sonic 1, runway departure, squawk 5522.
Thanks very much, Cleared Vienna, Sonic 1 runway
Engine 2 was
departure,
always
squawk
traditional because
5522,
captain could not see engine but hear it. Oh, I didn't know that. I
Sonic
thought it was
5
just standard
November
operating
Hotel,
procedures for
Rubik.
Airbus.
Manchester Ground, EG3 Papa Delta, ready for taxi.
I know
please.
Boeing, they start the engine which is furthest away from the terminal when they push back. So if you push back facing right, you're going to start the engine 1 first. If you push back facing left, start engine 2 first. I think.
Taxi
Could
to
be
holding
wrong.
point Mike 1 via Juliet, Echo Kilo Juliet, 3 Papa Delta.
Okay, N2 is good, EGC is rising, N1 is rising, so
EG3 Papa Delta and confirm Juliet Echo is the taxiway
let's
on your
just
right.
check our ground shots. I know which way I'm going to taxi.
Confirm
Or I
Juliet
know
Echo is
what
the taxi
to
on my
expect.
right, 3 Papa
So
Delta.
airport. So zoom in here. So it's going to be down
Shanix 27
Juliet
Hotel,
to my
not for the
Juliet.
coverage, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
somewhere there.
Unit complex for the NCCA, J WA, Channel 27 Hotel.
Okay, engine 1 looks good. So let's go back up to the overhead panel. I keep doing that, wrong one. Overhead panel, APU bleed can come off, APU can go off. We can turn on the nose wheel light to taxi, and the runway turn-off lights can go on the display. Let's go ahead and set auto brake to 2 or medium. We can set flaps to 1 and arm the speed brakes. And let's do our flight control check. So grab my side stick. So I'm looking for flight controls. There we go. Okay, full left, neutral, full right, neutral, full up, neutral, elevator down, neutral, rudder left, neutral, and rudder right. Neutral, there we go. Flight controls are checked. And that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and call for taxi. Let me just turn off this dome lights. There we go. Turn that up a little bit. Manchester Ground Scandinavian 4068, request taxi.
Scandinavian 4068, taxi, holding point Mike 1 via Gulf Juliet.
Holding point Mike 1 via Golf and Juliet, Scandinavian 4068. So let me just double check that. So we are on Golf, so Golf, Juliet. So I think I'm actually just going to turn onto Juliet from, yeah, where am I here? So this is Golf, and that's Juliet. So I'm just going to go straight ahead and then turn. So let's go ahead and release the parking brake. Little bit of power to get us moving.
EG3 Papa Delta, please turn right onto taxiway Juliet Echo.
Yeah, apologies, we're
This should
having
actually
an
be
engine problem
X.
then, but we've managed to sort it. We're on Juliet Echo.
EG3 Papa Delta, thank you.
Okay, so while we're taxiing out, we can do a quick takeoff config check, and then we can ding the cabin, and then we are almost ready to go.
Scandinavian 4068, no further coverage, monitor Unicom 122.8, bye-bye.
Unicom 122.8 for Scanian 4068, thank you very much. So unfortunately we got no tower controller on, so we've got a Unicom for the departure, but let's first do the takeoff config check. So we're going to takeoff config, everything's normal, green, cabin check, we'll do the cabin check, we're going to closer to the runway. Is this Mark 1? I think this is Mike 1. First one is Mike 1. Let me just hold here and make sure which one is Mike 1. Juliet, Mike 1, yeah. Why can I not see myself? Yeah, this is Mike 1. Okay, so let's ding the cabin.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
Okay, so we'll turn left. And then we will stop. Actually, let me just hold short here. And switch to Unicom and make sure nobody's on final. So, stop here, set the parking brake.
Advance 100, Chris, 6 seconds.
Change Unicom to 122.
France 100, taxi holding point Mike 1 via Juliet Foxtrot, then left on Juliet Echo, Kilo Juliet.
122.8.
Taxi to holding point 23, holding point Mike 1, runway 23.
Unicom, there we go. Okay, so before takeoff checklist, flight controls checked, flight instruments are checked both, briefing is confirmed, flap settings, we have got flap 1 set, our V speeds are checked, V1 133, V rotate 134 and V2 138. ATC we got Unicom 122.8, ECAM memo is checked, no blue, takeoff. Let's go ahead and turn on the transponder, it's TARA. We can turn on our landing lights. Oops. Landing lights on. We can turn on our predictive wind shear. There we go, and we can take off. Just make a quick radio call, check nobody's on final. Nobody's on final. Manchester traffic, Scandinavian 4068, entering, lining up, runway 23 right. Okay, so release parking brake. I really need to get track R. I should have done this during the day. Is Oslo, night at night, is Oslo
traffic,
Airport?
EG3 Papa Delta, type A320, lining up, holding at Mike 1. Mike 1, runway 23, behind the departing Scandinavian.
Is Oslo Airport the one from Captain West? I don't know what that means. Oslo is the one in Norway. It's Gardermoen or something like that. Okay, nothing on final. Let me hurry up because I've got somebody behind me. It's waiting to take off. Who is that and where is he going? Okay, we are lined up on the runway. We'll turn on the strobe lights. I didn't do that. Okay, strobe lights can go on. Okay, lined up. Let's set power to 50%. Let the engine spool up. And we go full power. Toga. Man Toga, SRS, runway Manchester traffic, Scandinavian 4068, rolling runway 23 right. Pole 5, Romeo departure. Okay, there's 80 knots. It's 100 knots. It's V1, rotates. Pitch up 3 degrees per second. Follow the flight directors, I can't see it, it's too bright. Okay, positive rate of climb, gear up. Landing gear's going up.
Manchester traffic, EG3 Papa Delta, A320, landing up runway 23 right.
Far too bright. Okay, pitch down a little bit. There's 1,700, thrust levers back to climb. They're in climb. Why are they not in climb? They're in the climb descent. Or are they? They are in the climb descent. There we go. Oh, let me turn, I missed my turn. I'm far too slow, pitch down. Overshot my turn by a little bit. That's alright. Okay, speeding up. Climbing through 3,000 feet. Just get back on track. 160, 180. Okay, coming up to 200 knots. I'm going to arm the autopilot. Make things easier for me. I'll set flap 0. Disarm the speed brakes. And we've got no EGCC, so I'm not going to stick to the SID restrictions. I'm just going to climb straight to our cruising altitude of flight level 370. Okay, there's 200. So we'll accelerate to 50 knots, below 10,000 feet. Go ahead and turn off the runway turn-off lights and the nose wheel lights. Let's do the after takeoff checklist. So, after takeoff checklist, landing gear is up, flaps are retracted, packs are on auto, barrel reference is set, we'll set standard at 6,000 feet, and that's the after takeoff checklist complete. There's 250 knots, climbing through
Liverpool traffic, this is Cargo 6505, runway
4,000 feet. So we're at an altitude restriction here of 5,000 feet at... Oh wow, it's actually leveling off. I didn't know it would do that. The A32nx doesn't normally... It doesn't normally stick to altitude restrictions. Let me check. There we go. So altitude restriction of 5,000 feet at D7 Manchester, and then between 4 and 5 at D16 Pole, and 5,000 and 5,000 feet at Pole Hill. That's pretty impressive. I never... Sometimes because the VNAV system is still work in progress, so sometimes it doesn't stick to the altitude restrictions. But, wow, yeah, there we go. There's a... surprised. V Chinatown 123, thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. So I'm going to continue the climb because we are slow at 250 knots and there's no HC online, so there's no reason to stick to the altitude restriction. So I'm going to set 370 and I'm going to press climb. Are we going to climb? No. There we go, open climb. And we're going to climb up to 370. So that's impressive. It's the first time I've ever seen this aircraft stick to an altitude restriction. That's quite nice. Cannot wait for VNAV to be implemented in this aircraft. What do we have here? Oh, the flight plan. It is... Why do I keep losing my weather? Oh yes, Microsoft weather problems. I should have set a weather preset for this flight. Anyway, we're just going to wing it and see how it goes. Okay, climbing through 7,500 feet for flight level 370. We've passed 6,000 long time, so I can set standard. This should be managed climb. Yeah, flight plan. Let's zoom out a little bit here. It's going to be a very straight flight all the way to Oslo. Okay, 5,000, 5,000, pole at 5,000. Okay, we've gone way beyond that. I'm not sticking to an altitude restriction when there's no HC online. I have Streamlabs. Chatbots. Does this work? No. I thought I set up something. Okay, through 10,000 feet, the X-Draft's going to accelerate now from 250 knots because there's no longer a 250 knot restriction. And we're going to accelerate up to 300 knots. So we're above 10,000 feet, we can turn off the landing lights and turn off the seatbelt signs. It does work. Okay, my Night at night, try exclamation mark route, and it'll give you the route. There we go. $12,700 for flight level 370. Okay, so right, as we climb to our cruising flight level, guys, let me know if you've got any questions. Leave them in the chat and I will see if I can answer them with regards to the A32nx. I think my microphone was muted, you guys couldn't hear me. Did you hear me say if you guys have any questions, leave them in the chat and I will try and answer them with regards to the A32nx. What I was saying is I think the live weather is broken because I cannot see a META for our departure and our arrival anymore. And I know a lot of people are reporting the live weather is broken. So once we get closer, we will choose our own weather. In the meantime, we're going to climb up to our cruise level, our flight level 370. And once we're in the cruise, we will set up our arrival, the SID and the stop. I wonder if there's any controllers online at our destination. Let's check. Check Vatsim. That's spy. If I go to the map, nope. We are all on our own from here until our arrival, unless any controllers come online. Okay, climbing through flight level 230 for flight level 370. It's a bit dark. We need cabin lights in here, especially during the night. That's something they should implement. Something that was suggested to me as well on YouTube. Birdman, what rule of thumb do you use for activating approach phase? How many track miles? I don't really have a set rule of thumb, so what I do is I will activate the approach phase. If you're talking about the approach phase on the MCDU to slow down, I will activate it once I am ready to slow down. So I'd say when I'm about to intercept the initial approach fix or the final approach fix and I'm ready to begin slowing down, then I will activate it, because once you do that, it's going to slow you down to your flap 1 speed, and then you want to set flaps 1 and then set flaps 2. You don't want to set it too early, otherwise you're going to be far too slow, far too early. You don't want to set it too late either, otherwise you're going to be overspeeding on your descent down final. So I would say once you are, I don't know, 20, 15 nautical miles away from the runway, you can activate the approach phase. Just remember to set everything up in the MCDU. Night at night live weather issues when over 20,000 feet are being reported by some users. Yes, I've read all the reports, but I did have a flight last night where I never had any issues flying into Frankfurt, I think, and I had no issues with live weather. I had nice rain, some clouds, some strong winds, but nothing erratic making the airplane go all over the place. Like I've seen some, I saw some videos. I saw a video of a A32nx do a barrel roll on final. I don't think that was real though, but he said it was because of the live weather. So yeah, still nothing. Yeah, we'll give it another go closer to the arrival. Is my... oh, it is working. My progress bar is working. Okay. So, but you cannot see my ground speed, and my altitude is not showing. Vertical speed is showing, but altitude is not showing, ground speed is not showing. I wonder why. V Chinatown 123, how do I know when to descend? I will show you just now. When we are in the cruise, I'm going to give you what we use here. We use the calculator on the flight plan. So yeah, top of descent, you can work out where your current altitude is and your target altitude, and it will tell you how many nautical miles you need to begin your descent. So stick around for that, I'll show you that just now. So you basically want to know, you're going to look at your arrival, you're going to see what altitude you need to be at by that waypoint, and then you're going to work out from your current altitude to that target altitude how long before you need to start descending. This is just something we do for now until we get VNAV implemented, which is coming. Don't know when, but it's coming. Is there also, Birdman, is there also a ETA time before top of descent? So, no, there's not. There should be, but currently there is not. I think VNAV, once it's implemented properly, it should show you. I don't even start the clock, that reminds me. It should show you when you need to descend, but I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. But you'll see the arrow on your line, on your navigation display. There'll be an arrow of when to descend, and that arrow moves as you move your route. So if you go higher or lower, or faster or slower, that arrow will start moving. I just want to see if I can sort out my progress bar. Why is it not showing the altitude and the ground speed? It's showing the wrong heading also, and the wrong vertical speed. It's showing basically the wrong everything. I wonder why. Let me see if I can fix this. Follow this rule, first two digits times 3 plus 10, is it that correct? So yes, there's a formula for it. I've actually forgotten it now, but you can work out based on your 3-degree glide slope or your 3-degree descent rate. So it's like 3 miles for every 1,000 feet or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but there's an easier way to do it. I mean, if you just check how high you need to be and how far away you are, then you can just work it out. Just let me see what's going on here. There we go. Working. I agree. I already want an ETA for top of descent. Can you show us the what? The arrows, please. What's the arrows? The arrows? What arrows? Did you mean the arrows that are on the navigation display? That's not implemented yet. That will come with VNAV. The arrow, yeah, the arrow will come with VNAV. That will be on your navigation display. So when you reach the arrow, that's your top of descent, and you will start descending. If you have it in descent mode and you've already decreased the altitude in the window, that will start descending automatically. We are really struggling to get to our flight level. Are we heavy? We are quite heavy, I suppose. Oh, okay, I could never get the arrow. I used it on X-Plane. Yes, that was implemented on the TOLUS, I think. I used to have X-Plane, but I never used to fly any of the Airbus products. I used to fly the Zibo mod, which was also very fun. I'm sure that's progressed a lot now. I uninstalled X-Plane when I installed Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I could reinstall it because I have it on Steam. I don't know if I have the space though. But also to concentrate on 2 sims, it gets a bit much. I think if X-Plane 12 comes with the Zibo mod, I will jump into some Boeing flights. But then of course when PMDG brings out the 737 for Microsoft Flight Simulator, that is going to be epic. I think that's what got me into simming seriously, was FSX days and the PMDG 737 That's when I really started enjoying simming. I mean, I used to mess around with the stock aircraft and download some add-ons, but when I bought the PMDG with all the manuals and the flight procedures and everything, that's when I really got involved with flight simming. And that's when it got me the idea of actually doing my pilot license, which I do have now for just over a year. I've had my pilot's license, my PPL. Guys, give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back. I am back, sorry about that. I needed some water. I should have organized that before I sat down and started the stream. Guys, I'm so happy I've actually got viewers in my stream. I was expecting a low turnout. I'm very thankful for you all joining me. In the cruise at flight level 370. Nights at night, I'm left with only MSFS on my PC. I can't afford payware stuff for 2 sims. Yes, it does get a bit much, and some of the payware is ridiculously expensive. I don't have space for 2 sims on my hard drive anymore. I need an SSD. Especially with the size of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and every update is just bigger and bigger and bigger. And half the time I don't even use the updates that provide. I mean, you get these world updates and then all the nice scenery. You fly there once to look at it and then you never fly there again, but all of the space is on your hard drive. I should have organized some music for my stream. I didn't get that far. I didn't think about that. There's so much involved in a live stream. I spent all week setting it up. Beach Chinatown, I actually like the stream idea. You should. I actually like the stream idea. You should do it every now and then. Yeah, I wasn't sure about it. It's quite complicated to get everything set up and organized, but I will. I'm quite enjoying this first one, and the fact that I've got a few viewers it's amazing. It's grateful. I expected a very low turnout, but even one viewer is better than no viewers. I do like the idea. I never would have imagined my channel would have taken off like it did. When I started out posting my first few videos, I was like, yeah, let me do this. It'll be quite fun. I really enjoy flying in the sim. And I enjoy learning about the A32nx, and I enjoy sharing it with you guys, so I'm very grateful for the support I've received. And I've already got over 1,000 subscribers, so it's been truly a very fun experience. And this live stream experience has also been quite daunting. It took me the whole week to set everything up and learn about streams and scenes and sources and stuff that I never would have ever thought about. Birdman looks great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So let's have a look. What are we going to do here about our arrival? Because we have no ATIS. Let's see if this works. Let's go to settings, add to AOC, Vatsim. We don't have anything online on Vatsim, so let's go ATIS FAA Meta Meteor Blue. That's Microsoft's weather. Oh, there we go. There we go. I should have done that in the first place. Okay, so our destination 1023.020 at 6 knots, temperature -11, dew point -13. That means, oh, we're gonna have snow. There's most definitely snow in Oslo. Let's go over there and look if we get the same here. So if we go to, if you guys saw my last video using the printer, you go to add to AOC menu, ATIS, and we get the ATIS for the printer for our arrival airport, which is Echo November Golf Mike. Send. Okay, there we have company message, so we go back. Received messages. ATIS. ATIS not available. Yeah, Microsoft weather is broken. Birdman, I went to settings, add to AOC, and I changed it here. I was looking at what is going on. You see, there's our weather problem. Oh, emergency, overspeed. Throttle back. This is a problem now with Microsoft's live weather. Let me change it quickly. Let me go to just set something up here instead of using live weather. Let's do, I don't know, clear skies. Let's go overcast. We'll set some clouds and set some wind. Go winds from out of the north 340. Make it 5 knots. There we go. So yeah, live weather is definitely broken. Sorry, Birdman. As I was saying, I went here to settings, add to AOC, and I changed the ATIS source and the METAR source from Vatsim to FAA and Meteor Blue. Now what that does, it only shows you the ATIS over here, but because there's no controllers online on Vatsim, I use FAA and Meteor Blue. So FAA is the one from United States weather, and Meteor Blue is where Microsoft Flight Simulator gets its weather from. But I think that's the issue at the moment, is the servers. The servers are not working at the moment for the live weather, and that's why we're having these issues with live weather. Oh, I need to climb again. Lost all my altitude. Nights at Nights, have you ever tried live? Have you ever tried Rex weather? No, I haven't used any weather programs for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did use something for FSX. What was it? Can't remember now. It was very good though. But for X-Plane and for Microsoft Flight Simulator, I never used anything. Microsoft Flight Simulator's live weather has been pretty good up until now, or the last 2 times where they had weather issues. But before that I thought it was pretty good. Okay, back up to 370. I'll try that again. I'm pretty sure it's broken. Let's try the weather. METAR, TAF, METAR, send. It's not going to work. If it's not picking up the servers, then it's not going to be able to give us the weather information. Company message. Let's go receive messages. METAR. Oh, there we go. We have a METAR. The one we want is this one for our arrival. Tom, wind 020 at 7 knots, visibility more than 10 kilometers. Few clouds at 2,000 feet, overcast 3,300, temperature -10, dew point -13. QNH 1023, no, strange. Let's print that. And it gets stuck there automatically. That's the wrong one. I want this one. This one. So yeah, very cold in Oslo. Definitely snowing. Birdman, I used to fly the Jar A320 on X-Plane for 10 years. It was buggy, but I learned a lot. It had the arrow for the top of the descent. I'm on Microsoft Live for A32nx. It's awesome. It is awesome. It's only going to get better. For freeway aircraft, it's fantastic what these guys have done. So there we'll leave our METAR up there for the arrival, but what we're reading and what we're getting in the simulator is two different things. So that's the METAR report, but that's not the actual weather we're receiving in the sim. Okay, so we're a little bit under halfway to our destination already. Hey, time flies when you're on a live stream. Let us get ready to discuss the arrival into Oslo. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. We're going to go up to the charts. Our last waypoint is Ripam on our destination. So we go to Oslo, open chart list. Jeffrey Barrett, thank you very much for the subscription. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Okay, so we're going to go to our chart list. We're going to check our arrivals. So we got... First of all, we're going to do the approach. We're going to do the ILS into 01 left. So we have our winds coming out of the north. So we're going to do the ILS or localizer 01 left. And we're going to do standard terminal arrival route. We need something that comes from Ripam. So Ripam 3 Lima or 4 Mike. Which one is it? I think it's this one, 3 Lima. 4 Mike is 4. No, 4 Mike is for the opposite end of the runway, so that'll be for 3-5. So Ripam 3 Lima will be for, yes, because there's the airport there. So our final approach fix Valpool. Okay, so let's have a look at this approach. From Ripam at max 250 knots, we go to Vatsim above flight level 120, because you can see the line is below flight level. So that means we need to be at flight level 120 or above. Yeah, we need to be at flight level 110, max 220 knots. Then we're going to turn max 220 at flight level 110 to Valpo above 5,000. So that is going to be our arrival. So it's going to be the Ripam 3 Lima and the ILS 01 left. So if we go here to our MCDU, flight plan, destination, arrival, ILS 01 left is the one we want, and Ripam 3 Lima is this one here, Ripam 3 Lima. We're going to insert that over there. Then to check we've got the right one, we can go to plan, go back to flight plan, and we can step through the flight plan. Well, we're nearly there already, and as you can see, it looks exactly the same as what we saw in the chart. So we got Roxham above flight level 120 at 250 knots, 220 knots, 220 knots at flight level 110, and then here 220 knots above 5,000, 4,000. That's our approach, which we didn't look at. So let's work out our top of descent. So we know we need to be at Roxham by at least flight level 120 or above. Let's call it at flight level 120. So if we go over to the progress page, you can type in a waypoint over here. So you can type in any waypoint. So let's type in Roxham, and we're still 270, call it 275 nautical miles away from Roxham. If we want to be at flight level 120 at Roxham, when do we need to descend? So we go over here to our flight plan, to the calculator, sync, we had 370, we need to be at 12,000 feet at Roxham. So we need to descend from flight level 370, 79 nautical miles before Roxham. So how do we know when we're 79 nautical miles away from Roxham? Well, we can just wait until... What is going on? Don't even joke. Oh, there we go. We can just wait until that says 79 nautical miles. Or an easier way, we can go to the fix page, and we can draw a 79 nautical mile ring around Roxham. The Roxham or Roxham, R-O-X India Mike. Roxham. Is it Roxham? Yes. And we can draw a radius, so 79 nautical miles around Roxham. And now, if we have a look at the flight display, let's go back to the flight plan, step through it. No, that didn't work. Wait, oh no, it won't show you on the... I don't think it works. So it is Roxham, eh? Who was that? Gouts Gaming. Thank you for the subscription. Welcome to the channel. Nice to have you, Roxham, eh? Did it work? Flight plan. Poll. Fix info. Roxham. It did. So why is it not there? Why is it not showing? Oh, there we go. Okay, so that is our 79 nautical mile radius around Roxham. So for our top of descent, we know when we hit that marker, we can begin our descent, and a standard 3-degree descent will get us to Roxham at flight level 120. So that's how we can work out our descent for now until we have a VNAV implemented. Next, let's go ahead and set up the approach. So our chart for the ILS is going to be ILS localizer 370. Let's brief this. Okay, so we got Echo November Golf Mike, which is Oslo, and ILS localizer runway 01 left. Final approach course 012. Our final approach fix is Zikla, 3,500 feet. Cat 3B, Cat 3A, so we can do an auto land here if we wanted to. We're not going to. Airport elevation 681 feet, runway 656, missed approach, climb on 120 to 5,000, expect vectoring by Oslo approach. Missed approach with lost comms. Continue climb 012 to 5000. At D20, Oscar Bravo Whiskey, turn left direct to VRR for a new approach. Okay, altitude setting we're using is hectopascals. Our runway elevation 24 hectopascals. Transition level by HC. Transition altitude is 7,000 feet. Okay, so from Valpo, which is our initial approach, picks at 5,000 feet, 220 knots. We're going to head to Ogras and then to Zikla, and then we'll begin our descent down to the runway. So at Zikla, 3,500 feet, heading 012 down to our missed approach altitude, which for today will be 765 feet. Let's go ahead and set up the descent in the MCDU. So this allows us to use the approach mode. So performance, next phase. QNH we said was 1023. Temperature is a whole minus 10 degrees. It must be snowing, definitely snowing. Our winds are 020 at 7 knots. Transition altitude on the chart is 7,000 feet. We saw that on our ILS chart. And our minimums we said was, I forgot, 765? Yes, 765. 765 feet. There it is there. And that's it. So we're going to have a approach speed of 130 and a landing speed of 125. That's very slow. We're going to be very light by the time we get there. How's our fuel prediction? It's changed. Probably because of the weather. Hey, weather messes everything up in aviation. People don't realize how important weather is in aviation. So that's it. So that's our approach set up. So now we just got another 160 nautical miles to our top of descent marker, which is right there. Is there anything else we can set up for this approach? Well, we have the Gardermoen VOR, which is 11595, so we can put that in there for some situational awareness in our RadNav page, 11595. And the course is going to be 012 or 12. There's our ILS frequency, automatically tuned 110.3. There it is there, 110.3. So let's turn off VR. Still too far away, but we'll see it. Oh, there it is there. Still too far away. What else can we do? We got a missed approach of climb straight ahead, expect vectoring. So there's nothing we can input there for our missed approach. We could put the radial of 012 from Gardermoen just as a reference. So go up to flight plan, go back to the fix page, go to the next page, and we can put a reference fix of GRM Golf Romeo Mike. Yes, no, yes. Latitude longitude, this one, 269 nautical miles, definitely that one. And a radial of 012. And that will give us an extended line after the runway. So you can't see it, but we'll go that way. So if we have to go missed, we'll just follow that line, and then we'll turn around and we'll come back to the VR. But I have no plans to go missed. So that's it. Now we just need to wait until top of descent. What I'll do is when we descend back below flight level, was it 200, where the weather problems are, then I'll put live weather back on and see if it does anything. Still no controllers online for Vatsim, so we are still on Vatsim, but we are still just monitoring Unicom. Why can't I open my browser? Okay, I don't know what's wrong with my computer. My browser is no longer working. So for some reason when I try to import my file plan from SimBrief into the PFE, it won't let me, and I'm not sure why. So Elite, this might be an obvious, or have you connected your SimBrief account to the A32nx over here on the flight pad? Yeah, by Atsu AOC. Yeah, you put in your SimBrief username and pilot ID over here. You can put in your pilot ID like I have here, or if you put in your SimBrief username, some users say that if you got any spaces, like if it's 2 words and you put a space between the words, it doesn't work. So try, if your pilot ID doesn't work, try your username with no spaces. Yes, you have. Then I'm not sure. Could be, yeah, I'm not sure. Otherwise, the only issues I ever had was my SimBrief username. When I changed it to my pilot's ID, then it worked. You used to do it here in the MCDU, but that's no longer an option. You are welcome. Check out the Fly-by-Wire Discord. There are many answers there. If you're looking for anything that's got to do with the A32nx, you will find, you're bound to find your answer there. We also have a good support channel as well, and it's very active, so if you ask a question, you'll probably get the answer. Okay, so we have a few more minutes until we reach our top of descent. Probably about 15 minutes or so. Give me 2 minutes, I'll be right back. I'm back. Apologies. Birdman at delete. What error message do you get on import? Yeah, let us know. Maybe it's something specific. But I cannot imagine. I'm not sure what it doesn't show an error message. It just doesn't bring anything up. Okay, so it's just blank. I wonder if it's connecting to your SimBrief account at all. Okay, 80 miles to top of descent. What I want to check quickly is our destination. Where are we going to park when we get there? So, airport. I still have the SimBrief option in the MCDU. You still have the SimBrief option in the MCDU, really? So if you go to MCDU, if you go to ATSU AOC menu, not AOC menu, does it still say options there? When last have you updated your aircraft? And when you do you do it through the installer instead of downloading it and putting it in your community folder? I think your aircraft needs an update. They took this away a while ago. Even before the experimental version disappeared. I believe you. I do believe you. It is all in the fly pad now. I think you need to update your aircraft. What I would do is I would do a clean install. I would delete it from the community folder. I would download the installer, and then I would install it through that. Either the stable version or the development version. There's no longer an experimental version. Okay, so as I was saying, we're going to arrive on 01 left. We'll probably be off by hotel, this hotel. And we'll just park somewhere here by the terminal. I assume these are all parking stands. Hotel Golf Echo, here we go, so we'll park. We'll get off at hotel, and then we'll park somewhere here. 10, 12, 14. Yeah, let's give that a try. I would just try and doing an update, because they change so much all the time. I can't keep up with them. Every time I make a video, something changes. Got to update the video. So I don't blame them. The work that they're doing is fantastic, but it can be a little bit difficult to keep up sometimes when everything's different all the time. Yeah, so 01 left, off at hotel. We'll go down hotel Golf 1 and we'll park by the terminal here, somewhere 14, 16, somewhere there. That'll be our arrival. I mean, that will be our destination. We're not going direct there. Oh, that's the one I deleted. Repair, PIGAV, delete. That's the one I deleted it by accident when we were clearing the discontinuity. Okay, so there we go, direct to Ripam. And then we will join the RNAV arrival. RNAV is also coming, RNAV approaches is also coming, so we'll be able to do an RNAV approach instead of the same ILS approaches everybody does all the time. Not that they're any different, but something else. Okay, about 45 miles to top of descent. We are still where we progress. 129 nautical miles away from Vatsim, and we said 79 we're going to descend. So about 50 miles away from our top of descent. What else do we have here? We have the landing calculator as well. So if you wanted to, you could get all the information that you were getting from your charts, and you can stick it in here and it will work out where you will stop on the runway. But you have to know everything: wind direction, runway slope, wind magnitude, runway landing distance available, temperature, approach speed, QNH, your weight, and everything. And then you fill it all in here and you calculate, and it'll work out how long it's going to take you to stop on the runway, which is pretty cool if you really want to do that. But like I said, you need to have access to all this information, which you can get it off the charts if you wanted to. Maybe it's something you can do to keep yourself busy during the cruise. Me, for the cruise, I just talk to you guys. Okay, so one more just before our descent checklist. I'm going to go through everything, make sure we've got everything set up. So the approach is inserted, the performance page is done, the weather we've got, the minimums we've got. I'm going to change the weather once we descend below flight level 200. So yeah, there we go, 40 nautical miles until our top of descent. I forgot the time. I didn't set the time before we left. Too late now. See, change up, weight estimated. It's supposed to be 2 hours and 5 minutes. It's not nearly that long. I know some brief is not 100% accurate, but some brief is great for us flight simmers. Just want to see kind of temperatures we're supposed to be having up here. Minus 29, minus 12. We don't have any weather. Should be all good. Okay, so we are nearly there. What I can do is I can actually begin the descent, because we're already 82 nautical miles away from Repam, and I said at 79 nautical miles we begin our descent. So what we'll do is we're going to scroll down to flight level 120, which is our next restriction, and we're going to push for managed, and you'll see the aircraft there, descent, and it's going to begin the descent. Elite, so where should I put the fly-by-wire aircraft instead of my community folder? You don't download it manually. What you do is you go to the fly-by-wire website, you download the installer, and it's a little program that installs it for you. So once you install the installer, you go to, you open up the installer, you select you point the installer towards your community folder. So it'll ask you where is your community folder, and you just give it the path, and then you download it through the installer, and it will automatically place it in your community folder for you. And every time the aircraft there's an update for it, you just open up the installer and you update it through that, and you can switch between either the stable version and the development version, and I think you will have a lot less problems than trying to install it manually and place it in your community folder. So try that. Birdman at Real Sim Pilot. Oh, you're not real weather anymore, sorry. No, I'm not, but I'm going to put real weather back on when we've descended below flight level 200 and see. If it doesn't go all crazy, I'll leave it on, because I want to see if it is snowing in Oslo, which at a temperature of minus 10 degrees, I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Elite, give that a try. Install the installer, install the aircraft through the installer, and you should be good to go. Okay, so we started our descent a little bit early, but that's okay. I think I made a mistake with this, because it says 66 nautical miles, but I haven't even reached it yet. So, oh, that's Ripham. My bad. It should have been Vatsim when I started descending. Okay, that's alright. So we'll descend down to flight level 120, and then we will get ready for the approach. Jay London, welcome to the channel. Thanks for subscribing. Nice to have you with us. Okay, descending flight level 280. Let me turn on live weather now and see what is going to happen to our flight. Hopefully it doesn't go crazy. So, live weather on. What's happening? What happened? Something happened. I saw a jump. Probably changed the winds. Saw some clouds popping up there. Birdman, the installer is brilliant. Also check for updates daily. They release updates almost every day on weekdays. Yes, there's a lot of updates all the time. Some are minor, some are major. But yes, what I would do every time before I open up the sim is I would open up the installer. Just check if there's any updates available. If there is, you just simply click update, wait a couple of minutes, the aircraft's updated, and then you can open your sim and continue. So make sure you got the right sim brief profile for your aircraft, because that also changed again recently. There was 2 of them, then there was 1 of them, now there's 2 of them again. So just make sure the weights are correct, otherwise the weights you get in your sim brief flight plan and on your MCDU are going to be different. Okay, so I've turned live weather back on. Doesn't look like anything crazy has happened yet. We should be good to go. A little bit bumpy. Okay, descending through flight level 250 for flight level 1200. And then after that is going to be... What happened to my arrival? My arrival's all gone. Ay. Okay, so arrival, Ripham 3 Lima, approach, ILS via Balpu. There we go, it's back again. Okay, so we haven't reached Ripham yet. En route to Ripham, and then we're going to begin our approach. Is that some clouds? Is that white? Is that snow? I should have made the time during the day. I don't know why I flew at night. I just put real time, that's why. Cannot see a thing except the sunset behind us. We left the sunset behind. Bam, Vatsim, then flight level 110, 5000, Ogras 4000, Zikla 35, and then we are there. Okay, descending through flight level 200 for 120. Some lights down there. I thought the nighttime scenery would have looked a little bit better than this. Mind you, I suppose we're away from the city, eh? I'm sure this white is snow. But it's definitely, it looks like snow. It must be snow. Do any of you live in Norway? Is it snowing? I still have some brief option. Oh my word. Birdman, I sometimes switch from real time in today. Yeah, I do that also sometimes. I'm not going to do that now. That's just going to kill the immersion. Night at night, it should be in the community folder or airplane folder if you're using also add-on linker. Yeah, I don't use add-on linker. I should. My community folder is a mess. And every time you update the sim, they tell you to empty the community folder and put it back and take it out. And to be honest, I've just always left the community folder as is, and I've never had an issue with any sim updates since the beginning. You read some horror stories online about these guys that can't even install the sim or can't update the sim or bought the sim and never ever got it to work. Touch wood, I've never had any issues with the sim. Not even one. Only the last update with the Microsoft Store that needed an update, but once that was done, no problems at all. Elite, I don't know what to tell you, my man. I don't know why you still have some brief option. I hope you deleted the old aircraft out of your community folder and everything along with it before you installed the fly-by-wire installer. And there's a little town. What is the temperature out here? -8. So, Birdman, back up the community folder and then clean it and try reinstall it again. Yeah, I would do that also. I would take everything out of the community folder, put it in another folder, and then reinstall the bird, and then put everything back from the community folder back, but nothing from the fly-by-wire, the old fly-by-wire aircraft. So if you don't know what it is, don't put it back in your community folder. Okay, descending through flight level 130 for 120. Okay, we arrived a little bit early. We're still 30 nautical miles away from Vatsim, where we need to be 250 knots at flight level 120. So there we go, we'll level off at 120, and then from there we are going to Golf Mark 410 at 11,000, Golf Mark 409, 408, 407, so we'll stay at 11,000. We're just going to slow to 220 knots, and then we're going to descend to 5,000, max 220 knots, and here's a hold. So you would hold there if it was with you, and you can. I'm going to stay away from E-holds until the holds are implemented. Last night was a pain. Okay, then from Valpo we're on to the next one, which is our ILS approach. So from Valpo over there, 5,220 knots, 072 to Ogras, max 200 knots, 4,000 feet, and then onto the ILS. So I'd probably activate the approach phase by Ogras, which is our initial approach fix, because we need to be at 200 knots. So that's where I would do that. MSFGS add-on linker will let you use the minimum resources for a flight and will make it a lot easier to know what's causing crash. I should probably give that a try, but it would take forever to fix up my community folder. I've got so much junk in it. So much junk. Okay, there we are. We leveled off at flight level 120, 25 nautical miles away from Vatsim. We're coming up to Ripam. There we go. And then on to Vatsim, 23 nautical miles away. And here we have a speed restriction of 250 knots, and as you can see, the aircraft is automatically decreasing its speed to 250 knots. We throttled back, slowing down to 250, and we'll stay at 250 until Vatsim, and then we will descend 11,000 and slow down to 220 knots. Oh, congrats on your first stream, mate. Ivan, thank you so much. Or Ivan. I'm probably going to butcher everybody's names in these live streams. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming and joining us. I've had an average of 10 viewers during this live stream, and that's just fantastic. I really appreciate that you all came just to pop in and give me some feedback. Night at Night, Birdman, Elite, thank you for keeping the chat alive, keeping me company. I think it must be tough streaming to people who don't really chat, because what do you talk about? So yeah, guys, don't be shy. Join in the chat. Ask questions about the A32nx. Ask each other questions about Microsoft Flight Simulator. And let me ask you guys a question. What is your... controversial one. I probably know the answer, but tell me guys, what is your favorite? Is it Airbus or Boeing? Let me have it. Okay, 11 nautical miles from Vatsim. Birdman, I think your channel will build, just give it time. Thank you very much. Which version of the A320 are you using? Anikate, I'm using the fly-by-wire A32nx mod add-on. It's not a mod anymore, it's now an add-on. It's completely separate add-on to the default A320 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm using the development version. The experimental version is gone for now. I'm using the latest development version. Always keep your aircraft up to date. Beat Chinatown, Boeing. People are going to be surprised by this, but I actually agree with you. I like Boeings. I like Airbus for the technology and the updates and everything, but I think just the original Boeing takes me back to the PMDG days in FSX. That was my first real add-on that got me into simming. Birdman, thank you very much. I think your channel will build. Just give it time. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for the support I've received over the last few months since I started my channel. I'm an Airbus man, Birdman. You are an Airbus man. That's great. I think everybody needs to have their own opinions. I enjoy the Airbus as well. I like the A32nx. I like the Boeing because it's more manual style flying, less automation. But this is great. This is great for simming as well. Okay, let's see where we are. I see a lot of clouds. I think the real weather's working alright. Winds 003 at 8 knots, so it doesn't look too out of the ordinary. We are coming up to Vatsim at 250 knots, flight level 120, 3 nautical miles. So we're going to descend down to 11,000 feet, and we're going to slow to 220 knots. I started the descent a little bit early, 2 nautical miles, but that's alright because it's going to be a slow descent because we need to slow down as well. I just want to see if it's going to stick to the speed restriction as we go past Vatsim. So as we go past it, it should descend to, slow down to 220 knots automatically. Having flown Boeing on X-Plane, I'll give it another go. Nothing against Boeing. The Zebo is great. Yeah, the Zebo is great. I haven't flown it for a long time now, so I'm sure it's come a long way. It was great when I last flew it a couple of years ago, so I'm sure it's even better now. And I was watching a stream on Flight Deck to Sim where he confirmed that the Zebo will be coming to X-Plane 12 as well. So if you're waiting for X-Plane 12, then that's great. Okay, there we go, 11,000 feet, and we are slowing to 220 knots. Oh, definitely some clouds around. For Chinatown, is any 737 mod available? No, not anything worth flying for Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're all waiting patiently for PMDG. But I think themselves have said it would have been out already if it wasn't for all of Microsoft Flight Simulator's updates that keep messing everything up. But the last update I read is coming early in 2022, so don't know when, first quarter, probably February, March. But that could change again, obviously. Okay, let me just make sure I'm watching what I'm doing. Coming to Golf Mark 410, flight level 110, 220 knots, that looks good. And then we're going to stay here until Golf Mark 407. So our next altitude change is going to be from flight level 110 to, go back to the arrival, to 5,000 feet. Yeah, so from here we're going to go around, staying 220 at flight level 110. So there we're going to descend to 5,000, max 220 knots, to our initial approach fix. I think my next live stream will definitely be during the day. Even if I do it at night, I will put it on day. Real Sapalo, are you on the new DirectX? I think it's 12. It is DirectX 12, and no, I am not on it. I did attempt to, but I was having horrible performance. So I just put it back on 11. Question, the init request that full automatically the flight plan that really exists in the real aircraft, is it always available or only in the hubs? I don't know. That's a good question. I think it's based on real world programming. Obviously you're not getting it from SimBrief, you're getting it from a dispatcher or your company. It gets programmed into the MCDU via some software program, I think. Because these things can be connected to like a computer or something where they update the database. So I'm pretty sure it automatically falls in the flight plan, and then the pilots would just go and verify everything. Because you can store company routes and flight plans in the MCDU. I could be wrong. 320 some pilots probably the guy to ask that. But yeah, I would assume there is something similar, because if you're on a long flight from, I don't know, Europe to America, to plug in all those waypoints and airways, that's going to take a while. So I think it can be done, and then the pilot just goes through everything just to make sure everything is as it should be. Can I know what my altitude should be based on a SimBrief flight plan? You can leave it at auto and it will tell you, or you just put it in yourself. I normally do it myself, because sometimes it'll give you a very high cruise altitude for a very short flight. So you're going to climb all the way to your cruise altitude, and by then it's time to descend. So I never use it. I never leave it at auto. For a longer flight, more than, I don't know, 300 to 500 nautical miles or longer, I would make it a flight level somewhere between 350 and 390, and for a shorter one, obviously a little bit below that. So if you don't know, if you're flying in a easterly direction, so if you're flying from west to east, you would fly at odd flight levels, and if you're flying from east to west, you would fly at even flight levels. So today we flew from west to east, so our flight level was odd. So east is odd, west is even. So I flew at 370 or 350 or 390. So I would just choose it manually. But yes, there are other ways you can work out there are other programs that will work out your cruising altitude. Like I said, if it's a very short flight, night to night, will you do a manual landing or an auto land? I'm going to fly down to I'm not doing an auto land. I don't program in the auto land. But I'm gonna leave the autopilot on pretty much down to minimums, and then I'll disconnect the autopilot to land. Reason being is my rudder pedals are broken, so I don't have any rudder pedals. So I'm using the twist function on my joystick, which really sucks at keeping you in line with the center line of the runway. I need new rudder pedals. So it'll be a half and half. A manual landing, but very late. Oh, whoops, there we go. I need to disconnect. I need to descend to 5,000. We are now past our waypoint of that one. We're descending down to Valpo at 5,220 knots. So we are about to descend through flight level 100. I'm going to turn on the landing lights. Also going to turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. And I am going to turn on the landing system, which will give us our guidance, our reference for our localizer and glide slope. Localizer and glide slope. Okay, so descending down to 5,000 feet, 220 knots. I missed my descent there. I hope I'm not too high. But it's plus 5,000, so it should be alright. Maybe I should just increase the descent rates a little bit. 2,000 feet. What are you doing? There we go. I feel like I'm not going to make my altitude. Bring out the speed brakes a little bit so I don't overspeed. We should make it. Valpo plus 5. Well, that's actually above 5,000, so I probably would have made it. But the next one is above 4,000. I just don't want to come in hot and high, because then it's hard to slow down. Especially in the Airbus. It's very slippery. As you can see, I'm already speeding up because of my descent rates. Give us some more speed brake. I'll just tell ATC sorry we were in a hurry. Not bad. I'll tell them we've got an urgent VIP passenger that needs to get down. I'm still not going to make it. Okay, 7,200. Coming through 7,000 feet, so we're going to set QNH 1023. There, our glide slope is coming, so we are below the glide slope. We are to the left of the localizer. PC is really battling. Okay, so Should be looking better now. We're going to continue down to 4,000 for the next waypoint, which is Ogras. So the airport's over there to our left, somewhere in the distance, can't see it. Hey, these speed brakes didn't work at all, eh? Nothing at all. Let's go back to managed speed, managed mode. Slow right back down again. We are well below the glide slope, so that's alright. Bring our speed back. Turn to our next waypoint, which is Ogras, above 4,000 feet. What we can do now is we can activate the approach phase if it hasn't activated already. Jeez, my computer is struggling. Activate approach phase, confirm approach phase. Now we're going to slow down. Slow down to 10, eh? For now. Okay, there we are, 4,000. Our next one is 3.5. This should have been manual. No, take it off. Take it off. There we go. Okay, slowing down to 3.5. Slowing down to 210 knots.
2,500.
2,500 above the ground. We're actually a little bit low. We should have been at 4,000 still. Nevertheless, oh, why are we so slow? Okay, let's activate the approach. Because we got the localizer in and the glide slope. So localizer is armed. Localizer is actually captured. We're going to set flaps 1, and then we're going to start slowing down. So there we go. Flaps 1 is set, and you can see the green S. So the aircraft's going to slow down to the green S, which is about 190 knots. Okay, there we are, 3,500 feet. Here the localizer is coming in, and we'll wait for the glide slope. There, I can see the runway in the distance. And we are 10 nautical miles away from the runway, as you can see by that over there.
2,500.
Yes, 2,500. Okay, there we go, lined up with the localizer. You can see the runway in the distance. Speed brakes off. My speed brakes, oh thank you, my speed brakes are still on. Thanks, Birdman. Do you have the record option on the sim? The new replay function, yes, but I didn't put it on. I don't know how to use it yet. It's a bit funny, that one. Okay, 8 nautical miles away. Let's set flaps 2. Thanks, Birdman, for the speed brakes. That's why this aircraft needs a first officer and a captain. Okay, we can pretend we have been cleared to land, so we'll put runway turn-off lights on. Come on. 7 nautical miles away. Let's set flaps 3. Let's lower the landing gear because we're very fast. Landing gear provides good drag. It'll slow us down nicely. Okay, speed brake. Auto brake set to medium. Cabin check, spoilers arm, flaps full. So we'll arm the spoilers. We won't go flaps full yet, we'll wait until... well, we're nearly there. And we'll ding the cabin. It's all too far out. Okay, let's go flaps full. Close enough. And then ding the cabin. Nope, I don't have any cabin crew. At Birdman, at Wilson. I've left him on so many times. Yeah, I do it as well. It's tough flying this bird by yourself. Okay, landing checklist, cabin crew advise. I'm trying to advise, I'm not getting an answer.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
I thought my cabin crew had deserted me. Okay, spoilers. Spoilers at R. Auto brake set. Cabin auto throttle is on. Landing memo. Landing gear down. Signs on. Cabin ready. Spoilers on. Flaps full. Landing no blue. 1,800 feet. Stable. 1,000 feet above ground. TA only. Speed is good. We have Cat 3 single. Glide slope localizer speed. All looking good. I should have flown through during the day. I'm sure this would have all been white. Next time. Okay, let me see if I can land this bird without making a fool out of myself on my first live stream. Oh, my computer's struggling. I don't think I can stream and sim at the same time. Okay. 1,000 feet.
500. 400.
Very up and down this. Okay.
300.
3 white, 1 red. I'm going to disconnect autopilot here.
200. 100 above.
There's our minimums.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
It is white.
5.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
5.
whoa, whoa. 335 feet per minute. I will take it. I will take that. Okay, we're on the ground, full of snow. Reverses out. Reverse thrust. And we are down. I can actually get off here. Stow the reverses, if I can. And welcome to Oslo. I'm stuck, I can't move. Oh yes, that happened last time also. Okay, I'm actually going to turn off right here because we are already down. So is this an exit? Yes it is. So welcome to Oslo guys. That's my first stream. 335 feet per minute landing rate. I will take that. A little bit right of center line, but that's okay. And yes, the ground is all white. It's full of snow. I think. It looks like snow. As Night at Night says, welcome to Oslo. So let me just pull off the runway over here and clean up the aircraft. So we're going to stop here. A few things you want to do after pulling off the runway is landing lights can go off. We can start the APU so long. So that's ready by the time we get to the gate. We are going to put the flaps up. Disarm the speed brake. TKS can go to standby. And let's go find ourselves somewhere to park. I think I didn't get off at hotel, I got off on the first one. Oh, strobes must go off also. Strobes must go off also. Yeah, it's definitely all white, full of snow. That is great. I'm just going to go park somewhere right in front of us. I have an entire airport to myself. And I forgot that I was on Vatsim, so I didn't even make one radio call. My bad. Oh, here's a company Scandinavian. I will park by him. As the aircraft stops quickly in the snow. Where should I park? Should I park next to him? Is there a gate here? I don't know if there's a gate here. I'm going to park here anyway. I'll park next to my colleague over here. Oh, there's a line. I've lost the line now. I'm just going to stop here. Stop. Last night was a great stream. You'll also blow out, keep it going. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Okay, so set the parking brake. Parking brake. Where's it? Parking brake. Put some lights on so I can see. Okay, APU is available, so APU bleed can come on. Set the parking brake. I use the taxi ribbon for the gates. Yes, you can do that. I used to do that, but I just think it breaks the immersion a little bit. Plus, flying on Vatsim, you don't want to do that because they're going to assign you a gate if there was a controller. So best way to do it is use your charts. Should have used the charts, but yeah, here we are here. We are parked here. I should have been parked on the other side. Okay, so shut down. Let me put the lights off because I'm probably blinding the ground crew. Wrong way, wrong way. That could go off, that can go off. That can go off. Nav and logo lights can stay on. Wing lights off already. If I shut down the aircraft, I can actually turn on external power because we have the gate. And I can shut down the engines. And there we go. Welcome to Oslo, guys. Thank you very much for watching my first live stream. I really appreciate it. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed chatting to you guys. Let me switch off the beacon light. Switch off the fasten seatbelt signs, and my passengers can disembark. Birdman, great stream. Look forward to more. Now you're off the ground. Yeah, I will definitely do this. I'll try and do this at least once a month if I can, if I have time. In between making the other videos. Maybe the next time I'll do it will be when we have more features to discuss during the cruise. Maybe the holds, or maybe during a busy Vatsim event. That would be fun. Yeah, anyway, let me quickly shut down this aircraft. I'm going to do APUs on, ground power's on, so I can switch off the APU now, then we're on the ground power, and everything can go off, so nav and logo lights can go off. Everything's off, ADOs can go off. Crew oxygen supply can go off. I'm just doing the opposite of what I did when I started everything up. Emergency exit lines can go off. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm actually going to switch off everything.
Gardermoen traffic, Scandinavian 84 Lima, push and start from stand 11.
That's this guy's leaving, eh? Good stuff. Guys, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Good night. Thank you, night to night. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Really appreciate the support.